the first link from there. And the questions are A, what office is the Bishop of Rome and what responsibility does this position have? B, who is recognized as the first Bishop of Rome? And I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's 4 pages long, so just the ones that apply. History of the papacy. Bishops of Rome from the 1st century AD. The Pope is the Bishop of Rome. The name derives from a Greek word papus, meaning father, and Rome's bishop is seen as the father figure of the early church because of the link with St. Peter. Jesus is believed to have appointed Peter as the rock on which the church will be built, and Peter is believed to have been martyred in Rome. As the capital of the empire, Rome is also a natural center for growing church. So, clue here, Peter is going to be your first bishop. Unlike any other Christian see, Rome can put at least a name to every bishop in an unbroken line back to the 1st century of the Christian era and to St. Peter himself as the first pope. The papacy, though not recognized as such until later centuries, has impressive credentials. Many popes in the first 3 centuries of the Christian era are obscure figures. Several suffer martyrdom, I can't say that word, along with members of their flock in periods of persecution. Most of them are much involved in theological argument with other bishops, as the young church flexes its doctrinal muscles. The change to a very different role comes during the brief pontificate of Miltiades. In 313, he holds a council openly in Rome at the behest of the emperor in the Lateran Palace. A lasting link between the papacy and temporal power has begun, and there are immediate signs of the change. The first churches, AD 312 to 337. Concrete evidence of the new status of Christianity is seen in the emergence of the first church buildings. The change is most visible in Rome, the strongest Christian community. Until now, in spite of the size of the congregation of Christians in Rome, worship has been conducted discreetly in private houses. Suddenly, churches become public buildings, city landmarks, as prominent as the temples of the pagan cult. Some of the churches evolved from the private houses already in use for worship. One such example is SS Giovanni e Paolo in Rome. Others in the capital city are new and more striking foundations. Constantine establishes 3 important churches in Rome. One, intended to be the city's cathedral, is sited immediately beside his own Lateran Palace, already presented to the Christians as a residence for the Pope. This church is St. John Lateran. The other 2 churches of Constantine in Rome are built in honor of the city's 2 martyrs, Peter and Paul, on the supposed sites of their graves. One is outside the old city and is called S. Paolo fuori le mura, St. Paul outside the walls. The other, in the Vatican, is St. Peter's. Both have since been rebuilt. Okay, we're going to stop there.